This is the Golden Gate. It's the East Gate. It's known as the Mercy Gate to Jerusalem. As you can tell, it's been sealed up for a long, long time.
The ancient gate, sealed for centuries in anticipation of Jesus' return, has mysteriously swung open. This is the Golden Gate in Jerusalem, a historic passage that was locked tight back in the 16th century, fulfilling the prophecy of Ezekiel. Christians believe that this prince is Jesus, and Ezekiel prophesied that this gate would remain closed until his return. Now that it has unexpectedly opened, could this event mark humanity's final opportunity to be with Jesus? Could this be a sign of something monumental? Join us as we look deeply into what this extraordinary occurrence could mean for the world. So let's get started. The sealed gate of prophecy, the Eastern Gate, often referred to as the Golden Gate, is one of Jerusalem's most captivating landmarks. This isn't just another ancient structure. It's a symbol brimming with deep religious and historical meaning for Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. The gate's story is woven into the fabric of a prophecy from the biblical prophet Ezekiel, who in chapter 44, verse 13, foretold that this gate would remain sealed until a prince, whom Christians recognize as Jesus, would return. This prophecy has elevated the Golden Gate from a simple architectural feature to a powerful emblem of the path to eternal life and salvation through Jesus, as depicted in the Bible. The Golden Gate stands not merely as a physical barrier, but as a symbol seemingly frozen in time, embodying the convergence of history and hope. For many, it resonates far beyond its stone walls, serving as a spiritual link connecting the past, present, and future. This ancient gate isn't just an iconic piece of Jerusalem's landscape. It's a cornerstone in the spiritual narratives of three major religions. Historically, the Eastern Gate has held immense significance, especially within the context of religious prophecy. Many believe that this gate is the very portal through which the Messiah will one day return to Jerusalem. This belief, deeply rooted in Christianity and Judaism, adds profound spiritual weight to the sealed doors of the Golden Gate. But this isn't just about ancient traditions. The gate's closure in the 16th century by Sultan Suleiman wasn't merely a defensive measure. It was a deliberate act, infused with religious symbolism. Many saw this as a fulfillment of biblical prophecies, indicating that momentous events were on the horizon. The sealed Golden Gate is a profound symbol of how faith and history intertwine. It shows how decisions made long ago can echo through time, shaping spiritual beliefs and expectations across generations. Each aspect of this gate reveals deeper insights into our collective human spirit and our quest for meaning, illustrating how our stories and beliefs are connected to the world around us. The sealing of the Golden Gate goes beyond a mere historical event. It carries significant symbolic weight within Christianity. For many believers, it represents Jesus as the essential link between humanity and God. This symbolism is amplified by the hope of Jesus' return. Many Christians believe that when Jesus reopens this gate, it will signify the fulfillment of God's promises and the culmination of history. This belief intertwines ancient prophecies, historical events, and Christian teachings, linking the ancient world with the future and reinforcing faith in God's plan for salvation. The Golden Gate's significance surpasses its physical form. It's more than an architectural relic. It's a living emblem of God's promise and the hopes of millions. It continues to inspire and provoke thought, bridging physical and spiritual realms and influencing religious thought today. However, the story of the Golden Gate goes even further back. The gate we see today, with its double entrance leading to two arched rooms, reflects the architectural style of the 16th century. But beneath its sealed facade lies an arch from an ancient gate, hinting at the rich history that predates even the current structure. This hidden history is believed to stretch back to the reign of King Hezekiah and through subsequent periods, including the Hasmonean dynasty and the Herodian period. The Golden Gate's long history is not just a tale of stone and architecture, but also of deeply held beliefs and ancient rituals. According to some traditions, the path leading to this gate was not just a simple road, but was made of marble pillars and cedar boards, reserved for the high priest and his helpers during significant religious ceremonies, like those involving the red heifer or the scapegoat on Yom Kippur. This special gate, also known as the Shushan Gate, played a crucial role in these important religious practices, further adding to its significance. Some historians argue that the gate we see today was constructed around 520 AD, During the Byzantine era, possibly as part of Emperor Justinian, won many building projects in Jerusalem. Others believe it was built later, in the 7th century, by Byzantine craftsmen working for the Umayyad caliphs. Yet, Dutch archaeologist Leon Rittmeyer, who studied the gate in the 1970s, believes the large gate posts inside are remnants of an even older gate, likely the Shushan gate mentioned in ancient texts. This adds yet another layer to the gate's historical and religious significance, showing its enduring importance in both ancient and modern times. The Golden Gate, with its rich history and deep spiritual significance, continues to stand as a symbol of hope, faith, and fulfillment. Its sealed entrance remains a focal point for those studying prophecies and religious texts, and its presence in Jerusalem, a city marked by countless conflicts and changes, serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring nature of faith and the resilient spirit of the people who hold it dear. During the Ottoman Empire, a small nook on the west side of the Golden Gate became a bustling hub for brickmaking. These bricks weren't just any bricks. They were essential for the upkeep and repair of the structures on the Haram esh-Sharif, also known as the Temple Mount. Nearby, a tiny mosque was constructed to serve the hard-working brickmakers. But as time passed, this small mosque and part of the gate's wall met their end in the 19th century, when the Sultan ordered their demolition to make way for further improvements. This led to the construction of 2 new arches and a fresh section of the wall on the gate's western side. However, this wasn't the only change to the gate. Reaching the gatehouse from the Temple Mount involved descending a wide staircase that led to a rectangular ground floor, spanning 24 meters in length and 17 meters in width. Thick exterior walls enclosed this area, which was cleverly divided into 2 equal parts by columns. Beneath the ground, the top of an ancient arch could be seen, its lower stones still buried. This revealed that the original ground level was once much lower than it is today. The Ottomans later transformed this closed gate into a watchtower, repurposing its ancient strength for a new role. This adaptation is just one of many changes the site has seen over the centuries. But the story of the Golden Gate doesn't end there. Architecturally, the gate is a masterpiece. Unlike other gates, which blend seamlessly with the surrounding walls, the eastern side of the Golden Gate boldly juts out 2 meters, making it stand out prominently. The gate boasts 2 beautifully decorated facades, a testament to the skill and craftsmanship of its builders. The structure features 2 main passages, evident in its design. On the ground floor, a vaulted hall is divided by 4 strong columns into 2 aisles, leading visitors to the Door of Mercy, known as Bab al-Rahmah, and the Door of Repentance, called Bab al-Tawbah. Upstairs, you'll find a room with 2 impressive domes and 3 pairs of smaller domes, sitting above the passageways below. Historically, the eastern side of the Golden Gate had 2 large doorways, each with a semicircular arch and a decorative band, set apart by a solid column. These doorways, each about 3.90 meters wide, were sealed during the Ottoman era, giving the gate its solemn and mysterious look. The design of the Golden Gate is quite similar to other buildings in the Levant, showcasing a rich mix of cultural influences. Inside the gate, the main hall leads to a rectangular area with domes, measuring 20.37 meters long and 10.50 meters wide. Initially, this space featured 6 shallow elliptical domes, which were later replaced by 2 larger domes. These domes are supported by arches rising from pilasters and central columns, creating a lovely rhythm that guides visitors through this historic space. The Golden Gate is more than just a structure. It's a journey through time and culture. Its unique design, with the facade extending 2 meters from the wall, adds to its historical mystery. Over the centuries, the gate has been sealed and reopened several times, by Muslims in 810, by the Crusaders in 1102, and again by Saladin in 1187. Ottoman Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent sealed it for the final time in 1541, adding another chapter to its storied history. The Sealed Gate, Suleiman's Legacy and Prophecy. As we mentioned earlier, Suleiman the Magnificent's decision to seal the Golden Gate was more than just a defensive move. It was deeply intertwined with religious beliefs. According to Jewish tradition, the Messiah is prophesied to enter Jerusalem through the Golden Gate. Aware of this, Suleiman, a devout Muslim who recognized Jesus as a Messiah in Islamic tradition, may have sealed the gate to prevent any false messiahs from fulfilling this prophecy. To further ensure this, the Ottomans built a cemetery in front of the gate, believing that Elijah, who was expected to arrive before the Messiah, would be unable to cross a cemetery. However, some Jewish laws do allow priests to enter cemeteries under certain circumstances, which complicates this reasoning. In more recent times, the Golden Gate continued to be a focal point of religious and political tension. In 2003, Israeli authorities closed access to the gate on the Temple Mount, citing concerns over its management by a group linked to Hamas and unauthorized construction by the Islamic Waqf that was damaging ancient Jewish artifacts. Despite these concerns, the interior of the gate was reopened to Muslim worshippers in February 2019, though the gate itself remains sealed. This ongoing closure reflects the complex interplay of history, religion, and politics that continues to shape the story of the Golden Gate. Jerusalem's walls and gates have been rebuilt many times over the centuries, but the Eastern Gate, the oldest of them all, has remained in its original location. During Suleiman the Magnificent's major reconstruction efforts between 1539 and 1542, the Eastern Gate was left largely unchanged, preserving its historical significance. The gate's deep roots are evident in the large stones from the 6th century BC, likely dating back to Nehemiah's time. In 1541, Suleiman made the momentous decision to seal the Eastern Gate. This action fulfilled a prophecy from the biblical book of Ezekiel, written over 2,000 years earlier. Suleiman's choice to block the gate, despite his Islamic faith, highlighted the deep connections between different religious traditions and the shared significance of Jerusalem. The gate's closure has faced challenges throughout history. During the Six-Day War, some Jewish soldiers wanted to force open the Eastern Gate, seeing it as a symbolic victory. However, an Orthodox Jewish leader strongly opposed this, believing the gate should remain closed until the Messiah's arrival, in accordance with religious tradition. Even during World War I, Muslim authorities considered demolishing the gate to break the power of the prophecy, but their plans were thwarted when the city came under British control. This unexpected turn added yet another layer to the rich tapestry of history and spirituality surrounding the Eastern Gate, where every action seems to be part of a larger, unseen pattern of destiny and belief. The sealed gate remains a powerful symbol, woven into the fabric of Jerusalem's destiny and the unfolding of divine prophecies. Unlocking prophecies, the Eastern Gate's mysteries. The tale begins in the ancient text of Ezekiel 43, verses 1-5, where the prophet Ezekiel describes a momentous event, the glory of the Lord re-entering the temple through the Eastern Gate. This wasn't just a physical entrance, it was a symbol of spiritual renewal, a sign that the divine presence had returned to dwell among the people. However, Ezekiel 44 verses 1-2 adds a twist to this narrative. The prophet tells us that the gate should be shut because the Lord, the God of Israel, had passed through it, implying that no one else would ever be worthy to walk through it again. The closing of this gate is not just a physical act, but a profound statement about the holiness of the moment, the sanctity of the space, and the unique presence of God that had once filled it. But the intrigue of the Eastern Gate doesn't end with Ezekiel's vision. In Ezekiel 46 verse 12, there is a mention of a prince who is allowed to use the gate for offerings. Many interpret this prince as a reference to Jesus Christ, tying the Old Testament prophecy to the New Testament account of Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem, as described in Matthew 21 verses 1-11. In this passage, Jesus rides into the city on a donkey, fulfilling the prophecy and mirroring the return of the Lord's glory to the temple. The gate, once a passageway for divine presence, now becomes the entry point for the Messiah. This prophetic significance was not lost on later generations. Muslim authorities, recognizing the gate's spiritual importance, sealed it shut, an act that many see as the fulfillment of Ezekiel's prophecy to keep the gate closed. This sealing of the gate has led to centuries of speculation and anticipation among believers who await the day when the gate will open again, when Christ will return for his second coming, entering Jerusalem through the now closed Eastern Gate, as foretold in Zechariah 14 verse 4. This event, many believe, will be a moment of profound religious significance, a sign of the ultimate fulfillment of prophecy and the beginning of a new spiritual era. The Golden Gate's significance, however, is not confined to Christian tradition alone. Within the Islamic tradition, the gate, known as Bab al-Rahmah, holds its own deep spiritual meaning. The name al-Rahmah, meaning mercy, hints at the gate's ancient roots and symbolic connections to divine mercy and the end times. Early Islamic scholars like Ibn Kathir explored the significance of this gate, tying it to Quranic verses and end-of-times prophecies. Over time, this interpretation may have influenced the tradition of burying the dead outside the eastern wall of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, adding another layer of spiritual importance to the site. For Muslims, Bab al-Rahmah is not just a gate, but a symbol of the afterlife, a place where the final judgment will occur and where the resurrection will take place. The gate is seen as an entrance to paradise, making it a powerful symbol within the Islamic community. This shared respect for the gate among Christians and Muslims creates a unique intersection of faiths, where both traditions find common ground in their reverence for this ancient structure. The Golden Gate also plays a significant role in Jewish tradition. It is believed to be the place where the Shekinah, the divine presence, appeared, and where it will appear again when the Messiah comes, as prophesied in Ezekiel 44 verses 1-3. During medieval times, particularly in the Crusader period, Jews would gather at the gate to pray for mercy, viewing it as a gateway to the divine. The gate's lasting sacredness across centuries and faiths speaks to its profound spiritual importance. The Golden Gate, situated near the Western Wall in the heart of Jerusalem, has been the setting for many pivotal moments in religious history. In Christian apocryphal writings, the gate is where Mary's parents, Joachim and Anne, are said to have met, an event that is seen as the beginning of the story of the Immaculate Conception. This meeting has been immortalized in countless works of art, depicting key moments in Mary's life and contributing to the gate's rich religious narrative. Some believe that the gate is the same as the beautiful gate mentioned in the Book of Acts, though this identification is debated. Nevertheless, the Golden Gate's connection to significant events in the life of Jesus Christ, particularly his entry into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, as well as its role in fulfilling Ezekiel's prophecy, adds to its historical and spiritual importance. In the grand tapestry of Jerusalem's history, the Golden Gate stands as a symbol of hope, prophecy, and divine presence. It is a place where the sacred narratives of different faiths converge, each finding in its ancient stones a reflection of their deepest beliefs and hopes for the future. Whether seen as the gate of mercy, the gateway to paradise, or the entrance of the Messiah, the Golden Gate remains a powerful symbol of faith that continues to inspire and intrigue believers around the world. As the turn of the millennium approached, a wave of influential works began to emerge, shedding light on the growing concerns about materialism and the increasing prevalence of secular attitudes. This period marked a pivotal moment in history, where the distinction between the physical and spiritual realms became profoundly clear. A powerful symbol of this divide is the Golden Gate, often regarded as representing the mystical body of the Church, which is venerated as the bride of Christ in many traditions. Christian teachings about the end times, known as eschatology, are closely tied to the imagery of the dawn's first light in the east. This light not only reminds believers of Christ's resurrection on Easter Sunday, but also points to the direction from which Christ is expected to return. This idea is deeply embedded in Christian traditions, influencing both the architecture of churches and the layout of entire cities. Many ancient churches are constructed to face east, a symbolic gesture reflecting this spiritual belief and anticipation. Similarly, the gates of many old Christian cities are designed to open towards the east, further emphasizing the significance of this direction. However, this alignment is not merely about facing a particular way. It represents a deep reverence for the pivotal events of Easter morning and a hopeful gaze toward Christ's future return. It's a blend of remembrance and anticipation, two core elements of the Christian faith. But there's more to this practice. The emphasis on facing east in both buildings and city layouts is a physical manifestation of a spiritual belief, serving as a daily reminder of the promise of Christ's return. This orientation is not just a nod to the past or a hopeful look toward the future. It's about how these beliefs shape the present, guiding the actions and decisions of believers in their everyday lives. Moreover, this tradition extends beyond architecture, serving as a continuous thread that connects believers across time, providing a sense of unity and shared purpose. It's a daily reaffirmation of faith, bridging the gap between historical events and future hopes, making the spiritual journey an integral part of everyday life. In many cities, religious icons and items are placed in significant locations, serving dual purposes, protecting the city from harm and offering blessings to travelers. A prime example is the Ostra Brahma in Vilnius, Lithuania, home to the revered icon of Our Lady of the Gate of Dawn, respected by both Roman Catholic and Orthodox communities. This blend of protection and spirituality can be seen in other historic places as well. The Eastern Gate of the Old City, also known as the Golden Gate, holds a special place in Christian stories. It is believed that this is where Mary's parents reunited after the Annunciation, making it a symbol of the virgin birth of Jesus. Additionally, some traditions hold that Jesus passed through this gate on Palm Sunday, adding to its significance. Over time, the sealed Eastern Gate of Jerusalem has come to represent more than just a physical barrier. It symbolizes a myriad of historical events, spiritual prophecies, and deep-seated faith. The story of this gate is complex, intertwined with many significant religious moments. From its closure by Sultan Suleiman to its mention in the Bible by Ezekiel, the Eastern Gate invites believers to explore its rich history and spiritual significance. This ancient structure, steeped in religious history, serves as a powerful symbol, connecting the earthly with the divine and standing as a testament to the timeless bond between humanity and the scared. So, does this ancient gate truly connect us to the divine? Or is it merely a symbol shaped by human perception? What do you think? Feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts.